Today, we're going to do something that I haven't done in almost 3 years. Submit my music for playlisting. Now, I have been using Facebook ads exclusively for the past 3 years to promote my music on Spotify. And I have been relatively vocal about my non-use of playlisting platforms to promote my music. But because the ethos of this channel is built upon experimentation, I figured it's time to revisit playlisting to see what the results might be. To do this, I'm going to use Playlist Push. Playlist Push is one of my favorite playlisting platforms that I used to use back in the day, so I figure this is a good place to start. After I've logged into Playlist Push, I'm going to start at the campaign screen here. Now you can see that my last campaign that I ran for Spotify was in fact 3 years ago, and it was before I even changed my artist name. It was back when I was TD3. I also ran a couple of campaigns for them for their TikTok platform to test out, and you can check out that video on my channel if you want to. But today we're going to focus on promoting my music on Spotify. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click create a new campaign in the top right. So we're going to start with Spotify playlists. Now I'm going to drop in my track information here. Next, and I'm going to use my song Hero. The reason I'm using this song is because it's my most popular song to date. It currently has a popularity score of 37% and is at the top of my artist profile on Spotify. So in doing this, I'm kind of interested to see if I can double down on the success of this track by using this platform. So now that I've selected my song, I'm going to fill out a couple of other things here. And once I have all my information filled out here, I'm going to click create campaign. So now we get to the part where we pick our genres. This part is the most crucial part for me. See, I'm not only interested to see how this impacts my song's popularity score and streams and listeners and all that stuff, but I'm more specifically interested to find out how this can positively impact the way Spotify classifies my music by genre on the platform. So to help with this, I created a playlist on Spotify of the 2 EPs that I waterfall released last year in 2022. I listened to this playlist all the way through and then let Spotify auto-select artists and songs after that, and then I paid attention to which artists I wanted to fit with more, or that I thought I fit with more as an artist myself. And so I'm going to include some of those artists in my targeting to see if I can get Spotify to do more of that with this playlisting platform. So these are the artists that I've selected. Now I'm purposely going with sort of more niche artists here. Some of these are bigger than others, and some of them have millions of listeners, some have hundreds of thousands of listeners, but I'm purposely avoiding artists who have 10 million listeners or 20 million listeners. I really want to get a more narrow approach and see if this plays out the way that I hope that it will. So if I scroll down, these are all the genres you can see that have been kind of auto included as a result of this. Now I see one at the bottom here that I definitely want to include, electronic trap. And then there's going to be a few that I think I need to remove. So let's remove tropical pop EDM because that is not what I make. And then we will remove rap metalcore because that's not what I make either. So now I feel like I've got a good selection of artists and genres that I want my music to sort of be geared a bit more toward on the platform, so we can see if we can clean up some of my genres a bit better. So now I'll select save and continue. So now I'm reviewing everything and I need to set my budget. So right now it's got it set to $289. So let's see if I can continue with that. Now I have my Spotify URI and audio file. I have my playlist genre and languages, and then I have my launch date. So the earliest launch date is the cheapest available option, which is Thursday, January 12th. We'll do that. And now we have my amount that I need to pay. Fortunately, Playlist Push has hooked me up with a discount code to use on their site, so I'm going to drop that in. This is not because they're sponsoring this video per se, but because of something I did for them some time ago, and I haven't used this code yet. We're going to use that code, and now my amount due is $39. Cool. So we'll agree to the terms and proceed to payment. And there we go. My campaign is scheduled and ready to run in 2 days. So now that I've set this up, here are kind of my expectations. I think that this is probably going to net me more streams, hopefully, assuming I get on any playlist at all. I also hope and think that it's going to positively impact my genre association as an artist on the platform. Outside of that, I also believe I'm going to get some feedback that I don't like, because that's just what happens with these platforms. On top of that, I think that there is a possibility that my data will get actually worse as a result of this on Spotify, depending on which playlists I get added to. If I get added to playlists that are more genre specific and have more similar artists that I want to be alongside, then that'll be a net positive for my data on Spotify. But if I get added to playlists that have a bunch of different artists with a bunch of different genres inside of them, this actually could make things worse. This is very much an experiment in playlisting for the first time in 3 years. Now, if you want to see the results of this campaign, I'm going to make a follow-up video about this in a couple of weeks once this campaign has run and I have some results to pick through. When that happens, I will put that video right here so you can watch that. But for now, it's whatever YouTube picks. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.